Welcome YouTubers and fellow tankers, I'm Shrine King and you have arrived at King's Court, one of our next kind of like reviews, guides. In this case, we're going to talk about playing your tank wrong. Now, normally I am going into like my typical guides of like, what tank is this, what tank is that, how to play it, pros, cons. This is much different. I'm actually talking about basically a mission that they have in the game right now that they call Play Your Tank Right. You'll see right here, this is actually me showing off the stuff that I'm talking about. So it says play your tank class right. And now, for example, here we're talking about the light tank, and they have a 101, 201, 301, 401. So there's 4 missions that you have to do, which you have to start from the very first one. You cannot complete any of the higher ones until you've completed the first one. So the first one here, you'll see it says spot an enemy vehicle. Remain undetected at the moment of spotting. Now, some of you might already be aware that usually when it says remain undetected at the moment of spotting, it means at any point in time in the battle, if you are undetected and you spot someone, it counts. That is not so with this mission. What actually it is going to be is that you must remain undetected throughout the battle up to the point that you spotted all the targets that you need for the mission. And you'll see here I'm actually showing that there are quite a few different missions. And why is this important? Well, honestly, it's because the 10,000 experience is a big deal. And if you manage to do this every day and you get it up to 10 times, you actually get modules for this. So that's where you see the coded optics and the camo net. And I'm showing off like the other things. So like heavy tanks, right? You're supposed to block your health and then damage to vehicles. But that's actually damage to heavies. So it has to be heavies. Medium, 401, so I'm showing you to get the 10,000, you got to enemy vehicles damage, it says 6, right? And then destroy 3 enemy vehicles. Now, you would think that means if I hit an enemy 6 times, that counts, right? Enemy vehicles damaged 6 times. Nope, that's not what it is. It actually means you have to hit and damage 6 different enemy vehicles. Now, some of you are kind of thinking in your head like, well, wait a minute, there's times I'm on a flank and yeah, there's only like 3, but to win the match, I got to hold that flank. Well, yeah, that's kind of where I'm going with this. This is what I'm talking about when I say play your tank wrong. Now, just to get right out of the door here, I want to say I do like that there is a reward of 10,000 experience for this. I have problems with how this actually applies and what it does to the teams and gameplay for our players. So, going over this real quick, scouts, you have to spot without being spotted all the way up until you spotted the amount that you need. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Pretty straightforward. Tank destroyers is kind of strange. You actually have to get your health and damage. And then the second one is you have to get your health and damage and survive the battle. And then the next set is double your health and damage and then survive the battle is the fourth one. Heavies, you got to block your health and then damage heavies. And then mediums is you have to hit so many targets, different targets, and then get a certain amount of kills. So for example, you have to first start by hitting 3 targets. Then you have to hit 4 targets and get a kill. Then you have to get 5 targets, get 2 kills, and then finally you have to get 6 targets hit and get 3 kills. Now, why is this so annoying? Why am I saying this is play your tank wrong? So for example, some of these tanks, now the LT432 here, I'm showing a demonstration. Now, by the way, so like here, I spotted 2. So I just went, I got into place, I spotted 2. Now, mind you, this means my 201, okay, I would have had it. If it was 301 or 401, I still don't have it, right? I need 2 more targets for me to spot, and then I'll be okay. Now, this is a tank that's got good maneuverability, it's got good camo, but it's actually very good as an active scout. So you'll see here I'm saying, hey, I'm not going to be able to spot anyone else unless I wait there forever, which also caused complaints to my team, and you can see I don't have a lot of support. So as I'm trying to leave, boom, I get spotted. Automatically, it's over. I cannot do anything else. Now, does this mean I played my tank wrong? Did I fail as a scout? Should I have just sat there in the bush? No, hell no. No one wants to do that. I mean, think about it. If you were sitting in the bush the entire fight just waiting and hoping and praying that you'll get people to come around to get 4, and by the way, like when I started moving, if you look on the right there, you would have seen that it was already a sense of most of the tanks, like only 3 of them, were not detected, right? So here's a case of where I'm showing, this is just my team. My team's falling apart. Now, as a scout, I continued on. I maneuvered around. I tried keeping things lit. And you'll see I'm not getting any assistance. So even as a scout, it's like, great. I went, I spotted, and kept things lit. Yeah, I didn't get any real assistance. So I got 68. So now I'm actually fighting for myself. And you'll see, just by me fighting for myself, I got 715. And it's already down to where there's only 4 on my team to the 7 on their team, right? And that's not looking very good. It just doesn't, right? So here's where I got some friends not friends, I'm sorry. There's teammates in certain positions. I'm doing my best to try to keep things lit, hoping that, hey, these guys would assist me, right? Well, okay, this guy's trying. One guy tried at least, but still didn't actually hit anything. This guy knows I'm over here, right? So he's waiting. But at the same time, as a scout, okay, well, here we are, right? I got him lit. I probably can't pen him because I don't have the penetration rate on the gun. And I see, okay, well, there's another guy. So I got them both lit. Are my teammates really flexing and trying to support? Nope. This is to the side of the tank, by the way, and I can't get any support. Like, what the crap is this? Look at this. I got no assistance whatsoever. And the best bit is I think artillery just fired, and apparently I got nothing for that too. Which means I'm spotting it. Artillery can either see it themselves or something else is wrong. So there you go. Boom. Me sitting there that whole time, finally I started getting some assistance. Now, this is not to say, hey, this takes any impact to that mission, but it's saying, hey, even if I'm playing my tank right, if I'm out there trying to spot and assist everyone, and this is the kind of complaint I have. It's like, all right, well, here you go. As a light, yeah, I'm playing it. I'm keeping them lit. I'm trying to let my team, damage them. Eventually, it's like, well, I can't wait anymore. Here we go. So I'll take that kill. I'm coming over. All right, here's a tortoise. Yep, wait until I got far enough over on the side so I get a good shot because I know he's armored, right? My gun doesn't have a lot of penetration. All right, here we go. Tortoise fight. Boom. Okay, there's an SU-101. My teammate sitting up there not really doing anything. Great. Now here is a case where, all right, now he finally fired all the way across there, right? So I didn't have any support for the tortoise. Had the one guy died. Did everything I could. This is showing, hey, I'm playing my tank right, but man, I would have only gotten a 201 out of this. I can't get the 401 just by that. And that's okay, right? So that's all right. Everyone, maybe, just maybe, it was a fluke, right? I just got a really shit team. It happens, right? No big deal. Yeah, not so much. So what you're going to see is I actually saved a lot of different videos of different tanks, right? Not even just lights, guys. Like, we're talking about lights, heavies, tank destroyers, you name it, man. I got it. I got videos where it's like, oof, man, this is really bad. I'm doing everything I can, and it's just bad. So there's the LT-432 where, hey, you know what? I would have got 201, but hey, I had already accomplished 201. I was actually trying to get, I think, my 4 or 301 on that one. So it was like, all right, cool. Yeah, I immediately got spotted. There was no one on my side. Even my team doesn't really assist. I'm doing everything I can, and I placed 3rd on my team, right? That to me was a crap match for me, and I still got 3rd on my team. And that was me doing everything that I could to try to help. So, what's an example of it actually being done? Well, here you go. Here we go. So as an LTG, I actually went on this map. I went right into a bush where I know is pretty easy to spot a lot of different targets. And you'll see here, I already got 4. I got 5. Right? There's 6. Now, what does this mean? Why am I doing this? Why am I showing this? Well, I'm just showing you that it's not a factor of me not knowing how to play a light. It's not even a factor of me not knowing how to spot or to accomplish the mission. I absolutely do know how to do it. I try to do it, but not everything goes the way I want. And where is that going from? Where am I coming from? Why am I saying that this is a problem and it's play your tank wrong? Well, the LTG is really good as an active scout. It's something that you can kind of get into position and be passive for a little bit, but then you want to maneuver around. Now, in this particular match, being that I already spotted, I'm good. I can go run around and do whatever. And this was nice because it was like, you can see there, I got 12:55 on the clock, which means within the first 2 minutes of the match, I had already spotted and I'm assisting my team, and things are actually going pretty well for me, right? On the aspect of that mission, we're good here. Now, what you'll see here in the part that I'm showing is I've kept their team pretty well lit starting out without really getting a lot of assistance. So this is where, hey, I got 762, even after I kept them lit for about a minute or two. Now here I'm watching and I'm like, oh, well, hey, look, there's another person spotted. They're in the open, capable of being shot. Even I can shoot them. And what you'll see here is I'm actually going to eventually start shooting because, like I said, hey, I got it. I'm even trying to call out to my team, hey, guys, on the hill, look, there is a panther. It is within sight. You can shoot him. I've had him lit. I've had my cursor on him for 30-some plus seconds. You could maneuver even if you were a heavy, not able to get up the damn hill. You could have got there and still shot at him, right? This is showing just, hey, this is how annoying it is. It's like, okay, great. As a scout, if I'm trying to pull in numbers and I'm supposed to keep things lit, well, hell, I did my job. But even then, right, I'm playing my tank right, by the way. I'm playing this right. I got them lit. I'm keeping them lit. I don't need to maneuver yet because I still have them lit. Should I go into full combat mode and get out of there? Hell no, right? That's stupid. Anyone who says that that's right is stupid, right? What had happened is eventually my team just started falling apart. So I'm like, all right, I have to go in combat mode. Now, again, this is me playing the tank right. This is my proof of me playing the tank right. So I went into combat mode. I'm going around. I'm doing everything I can to fight. And here you can see that there is now 4 on my team left. I am one of them against the 6 on their team. Now, I managed to go over. I went ahead and fighting this WZ. I'm charging the WZ. I knew, hey, with the Ram, it's going to be good damage into him, and I should be able to clean him up. I also know, hey, my other teammates, they still need some help, and there goes one of them. So I'm doing what I can. You can even see on the side there that I've pulled in 1,700 damage. I only got 1,400 spots. So now bear in mind, I kept things lit. It even shows I had 10 spots altogether with my team. Having the opportunities to shoot whatever they want because I kept it lit, I still only got 1,400 assistance. I've already managed to do more damage myself than that. Now here, you'll see I'm paying attention. I see, hey, I got an E25. He's coming around. He's my buddy. We can actually try to take out this Oho, but it's going to be a little difficult. I even queued up that I need to start looking at maybe running my premium to just make sure. Do I go charging into the Oho by myself? No, I'm actually one shot, so I shouldn't do that. What we should do is try to get him a little confused, split him. The E25 can actually get close enough to where the Oho cannot shoot him at all. And that's what he's doing. And you can see right here, okay, he grabbed the attention. And I'm like, well, you know what? It turns out none of my shots can pen him. Good enough, though, the E25 actually got him. But I actually was not paying enough attention to see that Leo was right there. That was my fault. I'm sorry, E25. Had I paid attention, I would have already probably shot that Leo, and most likely had it lined up to maybe catch him just before he would have killed you. But here we are, 1v1. I've done everything I can possibly do. All right, now here's why I have some concerns or complaints about these missions. Right, so I'm going to cover part of that right now. While you'll see here, I'm doing what I can, and actually I get chumped because this guy actually played pretty well. So this is the WG, and I know I'm a one-shot, and this was actually like my 3rd fight ever in the LTG. But that aside, here's where my complaints are. The mission is garbage, simply on the factor that it says to remain unspotted, and it doesn't mean at the time, it means throughout the entire mission. That needs to change. If Wargaming is hearing this, if any of you are on the forums, if any of you are willing to just complain to Wargaming, that is the #1 thing I would complain about, is the fact that it says, even though it says, all you have to do is remain undetected at the time of spotting, which means you could have gone detected, undetected, detected, undetected, and then still tried to spot things. It is actually the entire match. The entire match is where I have a problem, and there's quite a few reasons. One, if you are not the right type of tank to be trying to get into a bush and spot because you just don't have a lot of camo, that's already a fail point, right? So like Bulldogs, T49s, things like that, they actually don't have as much camo as most of the other lights. So it's difficult for them to do that, but yet you want the 10,000 experience. And here's the other problem, right? The 10,000 experience is not free experience. It is on that tank. So you have to accomplish 401 on the tank that you want it on. And if it turns out that that tank's not really a good spotting type tank, it's more of an active scout, well, hell, you're screwed. You just got to try to get lucky. So that's problem #1. That stuff needs to change. Here's the other factors that need to be considered that I don't think were considered when they were putting this together. What do you do when matchmaking puts 4 scouts on your side, 4 scouts on their side? think of the numbers here, guys. 15 tanks, you got to spot 4. 4 scouts. If everyone managed to break that out evenly, magically and miraculously, that's still 16. There's not even 16 players. It means it's impossible. You can't do it for all 4. That's garbage. Here's where this guy outplayed me. I didn't think of the building. Right? It's like, okay, you got me. I couldn't shoot you. Good job. I was trying to be careful. Yeah. Sad defeat. Really good game on my end. Very sad that we lost. And speaking of a tank that, doesn't have it. Here's a T-49. I've actually gone through. I'm trying to get 401. You'll see here, more than half my team's dead. Right? I've actually spotted 3. I've remained undetected. Right? I'm even fighting, guys. I'm fighting. For Christ's sakes, every time I fire, I take the chance of ruining my mission here. And here we are. Okay. Hey, team. Yeah. Oh, T-49. Come on, team. Do something, right? Do something. I'm almost matching my assistance of me spotting for my team. Yeah. Oh, shit. Bat chat's coming close. Coming close. Coming close. Coming close. I don't have a choice. I got to move. I'm spotted. My mission's ruined. Great sauce. Here's still the same thing, right? I kept the enemy team lit. I only have half my team left, right? How do I accomplish missions for poor performance of a team? And this isn't even to say, hey, man, it's a 50-50 chance that your team's garbage. No. Honest to God, I'm over here playing through 10 matches. I will get a decent team, maybe twice. And usually it goes full side, right? So it's like, okay, yep. We win like 13-2, right? 15-2, right? 15 kills to 2 kills. We just obliterate the enemy, right? Or vice versa, right? The enemy just obliterates us. Now, sadly though, and it could just be I have bad luck, and I'll admit it. I might have bad luck because if it was by random generation and trying to put all these things together for matchmaking and everything else, but yet I managed to lose more in a straight row with like all these teams. It's like, wow, I gotta pull off some crazy shit to get a victory sometimes, and that's not a joke. I'll pull off like, hey, I got 7 kills and 4,000, 5,000 damage at tier 8. Just to win. And it wasn't that, hey, my team was they were decent. It's just rough fight. No, it was they were garbage, and I got to try to do what I can to pull it off. So that last one I showed you, okay, boom, can't do anything because they come in, and that's kind of going to one of the points that I want to make. So like of the scouts, great. You know what? If the enemy team, let's say they had 3. Let's say I had 3 on my side, 3 on their side. What do I do if the enemy YOLOs at me? What do I do if my friendly YOLOs at me? Right? Just random. Oh, I'm out charging. I don't even care. Okay, great. I just lost my mission because they just came charging. And you know what? That actually happens more often than not. Right? So we have a mission to say go spot in a bush, but yet, you know what? A lot of people tend to seem to not care. I've asked quite a few in the games. They just don't really seem to care. Even my clanmates don't care. Because they say, it's bullshit. No one likes it. No, there's no real reason. There's too many factors that can just make it garbage, right? This is the case. You'll see here I spotted 1, and this is again, am I playing my tank wrong or am I playing my tank right? Well, I argue that trying to say that we need to all sit in bushes and try to spot things, that's really just saying play your tank wrong half the time, right? Until you accomplish it, then you're like, oh, well, now that I got it done, I'm going to go ahead and start playing my tank right? So here's where, all right, yeah, I'm getting spotted, I'm doing damage. Now again, am I really playing my tank wrong? Here you go. This is just showing that same match, right? Later on, okay, here we are, 1,300 damage, 700 assistance. And here I am. I'm just knocking them out, right? Racking in the damage. And again, as a scout, why am I the one doing all this damage? I kept things lit. I made sure that I was in position. But again, teammates are not supported. They just don't have good map awareness. And it's just like, wow. Am I really playing my tank wrong? I mean, here we are, down to like 1 left. Still just going, doing what I can. Now Now this one I'm just trying to support from the distance because the guy's already in his face, right? So there's not really too much I can do. But I mean, here you can see like 2,500 damage and 900 assistance. Hell, I'm obviously doing something right. I'm obviously playing as best as I can, right, to try to pull this stuff in where I'm getting like 4 or 5 kills, you know, extra, like all this damage. So, and again, this is going to keep going, guys. I have all sorts of videos of just showing this. Here's another one, T49. Again, not a very good passive scout. You know, being in the bush, okay, yeah, but getting to that bush kind of sucks. So here's where I'm like, all right, I'm looking at the map, and I'm like, I got to try to reposition. We're not spotting anything. It's getting pretty rough. And again, I got to help my team. I'm a scout. I'm supposed to be assisting. Oh, shit. I just spotted somebody. And, yep, there it is. There it is, gone. Look at that. 2, can't get it 4-1. All I'm doing is trying to play my tank right. But by playing my tank right, ooh, that must be I'm playing my tank wrong because I ruined my chance of now getting that mission complete. And this is what I mean. Had it been spot and then like, okay, go back into hiding and then try to spot another, you know, just all the same things. Now bear in mind, like, here I am spotting people, right? I've spotted people. But you know what? I'm not hidden, right? I already got spotted in the match, so it's pretty much over for me. But look, me making the choice of like, all right, you know what? I have to maneuver. I have to try to get things lit for my team. Now I'm stuck going active, right? I'm now playing my tank the way it's supposed to be played, right? Now, mind you, play my tank class right, because I'm a scout. I should be sitting and be spotting without getting seen. No, bullshit. Look at this. I have 4,500 assistance just because I made the right choice. Not because I played my tank or my tank class right, because I played my damn tank right. I made the right choice. This is the stuff that is really, really agitating me. That's why I'm making this video, because honestly, we have it where, like, and I'm not kidding, there is a lot of hostility that I see in matches where they're yelling at lights for sitting in bushes, and I can't really blame them, right? If they want the 10,000 experience, why would I blame them for sitting in a bush? Like, oh crap, you did exactly what Wargaming says you should do. Play that tank class right, boy, you got it. I can't blame them. Sorry, Wargaming, but you really dicked this up. Like, it's pretty simple. Get rid of the aspects that are making it to where it's so limited, right? And now, first thing I would do, honestly, is don't make it where it's play your tank class right. Make it where there's a style that we're going for, and that's okay, right? We got a style that we're going for. It doesn't matter if it's a T49 that's not very good at, you know, passive scouting. But there are scouts that are good at passive scouting. So what you do is you make it free experience. The 10,000's free experience. You earn it in the tank that's meant to do what we're saying needs to be done. For example, if I'm supposed to go spot a bunch of targets without being seen, you know, I'm not going to play the active scout. I'm going to go play a passive scout. So, you know, any of the French ones that are good at, like, you know, going passive and then being basically a very combative, maneuverable tank later in the fight. Some of the German scouts are kind of that way too. Like, they can go and get into a bush real quick and then just spot, and then eventually, you know, get into combat until it's like tier 9. Then they actually become like the master hybrid. The Russian scouts are kind of okay for that, but it's still kind of subpar. So I would actually play the ones that are really good for it. And that way, you know what? I can play whatever tank for the 101, 201, 301, 401, and then go that route, right? Now, that said, another thing I want to address is the fact that they made it this incremental shit. So it's 101, 201, 301, 401. You can't do it in any other order, which is bullshit. So, like, when I'm working on my 101, if I accomplish my 401, why the hell did I not get credit for my 401? You know, I don't even care about the 101. If I got credit for my 401, give me my 401. I'll earn the 101 later. Make it where all you got to do is earn the 4, get the 10,000, make it free experience, and boom, problems are massively solved here. That way, it's like, hey, you know what? Everyone's kind of playing the tank or whatever they want. Now, here's a case, mediums, right? Boom. I have to try to hit 6 different targets and kill 3. Now, a lot of people probably already know this map, and they know, hey, yeah, a lot of mediums come up here. Now, Given T-54, not so good on the depression side, so I'm kind of letting the Skoda try to come up because I'm like, you know what? If I can get him to a point where he's going to use his, he's going to try to use his depression, but I can try to, you know, stay back far enough to get my turret, so that way he can't pen me. So that's what I'm waiting for. I'm trying to bait him as much as I can. Now, the medium one, honestly, is not as bad. I'm okay with the aspect of the 3 kills, right? Because mediums are pretty good at pumping out a lot of damage, hitting a bunch of targets because they're more rapid fire. So getting the kills, not as hard, right? And I'm okay with that. What I'm not okay with is the 6 different targets. Now, I don't know what that all comes down to because honestly, and I'm not kidding, right? So like in the case of here where I'm fighting, I'm only really going to probably get maybe 3 targets to shoot at, maybe 4. If things go kind of crazy and it gets to like long haul in the fight, then yeah, I'll probably get to like 5, 6, 7 different targets to shoot. But truthfully, in a lot of matches, even with like trying to get around into flanks and stuff like that, heavies tend to be in a spot where only heavies can fight each other. So if I get a match, let's say like this one where there's 3 and 2, I'm probably not going to get to really shoot the heavies. So, okay, we rule them out. Let's talk about the mediums, right? So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mediums on the enemy team, 2 tank destroyers. Now, given let's say we split, all right? So 6 and 2, bam. All right, I'm really looking at 4. So I got 4 potential targets, 2 lights that I might get lucky and hit while they're roaming around, maybe. But chances are I only see 1, so we're up to 5. Right? And that means it's got to be that long haul all the way to the SPG because I got to get number 6, right? Got to get number 6, so I'm going to try to clear up an SPG. Now, in this case, on this fight, I've already hit 2 targets, right? I've only gotten 2 hits, period, right? So this is where I'm saying, honestly, it shouldn't matter how many different targets, just say 6 hits. You know, I'd be happy if my teammates would hit 6 times with penetration, right? Perfectly happy. I honestly see a lot of times that's not what happens. I see people in matches that only fired 3 times and they didn't pen a single time. So personally, I don't know why it needs to be 6 different targets. Just make it 6 penetrations. That's all I want. Makes it a lot easier. It makes it a lot more in aspects that many tanks can actually accomplish it. You know, because like honestly, it's either you play a tank like this T50, like the T54. Don't get me wrong, is a good tank to try to earn the missions because honestly, it fires so fast. It's quite accurate, so it actually can pull off hitting multiple targets because of that fact. The only other ones that seem to really benefit pretty heavily is autoloaders because you know what, they can come in with like 4 rounds. They can be like, you know what, fine, I'm gonna hit, you know, target 1, target 2, target 3, and then you know, I'll put another one in target 1 and reload, and then I'll come back later and do it again, and then all of a sudden, boom, they got 6, and then by the way, at that point, then they're gonna start dumping to try to get their kills. All right, so here's the case. I've actually hit 5 different targets. I've only gotten 1 kill. Yeah, I've gotten 1 kill. And here's the case. I am playing my tank right. I'm doing pretty well. I'm trying everything I can with my team. Now, bear in mind, though, it's 4-8 against 8. My team is not doing very well. So here's a case where I won't get the 401 because my team's not that good. Right? I actually held up. I even took a lot of damage to start. I held up, did the damage, still no good. Couldn't do it. Right? And that's where this is where I'm saying this stuff is play your tank wrong. If someone really is focusing on this stuff and trying to get this stuff done, it causes so many problems in the match. For example, mediums start trying to just be very hidden because they were like, oh man, I really got to try to get those kills and I got to try to get those hits. So, you know, I got to play it right because my tank, I got to play my class right, guys. So let's go ahead and make sure that I let other people shoot the target and then I'll just snipe that kill. Right? Because I don't want to waste the chances. I got to make sure that I can get those kills, guys, because I need 3 of them. And, you know, if I get those kills, I got all 3. So that means all I got to do now is hit 3 more targets. And that's when I'll start playing a little bit more like my tank should be played. Like, what the crap? That's horrible. We should not have that scenario. Now, here's where I'm getting into a position. Sadly, this Conqueror, I don't think he was paying a lot of attention to kind of like lineup, and I do run into that, especially, which is sad too, because like heavies should be the ones who are really, really good about that. You always want to pay attention to lineup, and then like currently for me to hide, sadly my medium, I was like, the easiest way is for me to pull this like that angle, which is not so beneficial for like running with this this heavy. So a lot of the heavies, they actually have enough armor that they can actually kind of angle straight forward, and it's not that big of a deal. I think eventually I actually will swap and try that, and I think it worked okay-ish, right? But this is, I mean, by the way, if you didn't know this, the T-54 is really good in this spot. It's the same thing with like Object 140, because it's anything that's got a good enough turret that it can actually stay kind of hauled down and just, you know, keep plugging away at people. And these tanks do a lot of damage. So here's where the trick was, like, hey, if I could have backed up some more, then I get that T-57 heavy too, maybe. You know, maybe, I don't know. So here's the case. Okay, this guy's aiming at me, and this is what I mean. So here we are. I've gotten 3 shots. I've actually got 4 hits, right? I have 4 hits, only 3 different targets. Now, here's a case where, you know, I could say, oh, man, again, if I was focusing on the mission, I'd be like, oh, I'm so close to that Emil. I have full health. Why not? Let me get in there because I need those kills, right? You know what? That would actually probably not play out at all, because look at that, there's a 430U. That would have been really, really bad. So here's where I'm like, see if I can get an angle, right? But this is the stuff I'm talking about. So even the mediums, it's like, all right, well, yeah, having it where we're saying that we want 6 different targets hit. So right here, I only have a target, or I kind of have a target-rich environment, kind of. Right, so I'm helping out with the heavies. I'm doing what I can, and this is where I'm saying, like, even trying to help the heavies, it's kind of rough. So I'm only able to get shots on like 3 different targets, and that was actually a good scenario because, you know, they were kind of crossing by. That allowed me to get some shots into some people. But honestly, normally it would be like, hey, I'm only able to shoot at like 2 because they're right there in front of me, and we're kind of brawling it out, right? So it's like, yeah, 6 different targets, pretty tough. Yeah, not so good, right? Don't really like that idea. So here we are, same thing, right? Bam, look at that. 5 hits, 5 penetrations, only 3 targets. Now, this doesn't go into the argument of the kills, right? Because, you know, still we're saying, hey, I gotta get so many freaking kills. And I still don't really like the factor of 3. I think 3 is just pretty rough, especially with performance of teams, right? So if the teams are doing pretty horrible, if people are, and not only that, but you bear in mind, people do, and I don't care what anyone says, people do try to snipe kills. They will withhold their shot just to make sure they get a kill. And they don't even care if it was like minuscule hit points most likely coming out of it, right? So like, you know, for example, okay, let's say this Object 430U, if I was another player, I'd be like, well, you know, they maybe have 600 hit points. Let me let that or the super conch shoot him, knock him down to the 200, and that way I can snag that kill for about 200 something hit points. That is if I was one of those players, but I'm not. I want to perform in whatever means I can to help my team. In this case, I'd be like, well, I want to try to keep that conqueror alive. So I'm doing what I can just to try and beat this guy down. And finally, you know, this guy's kind of getting to a point where he's bullying me. And I'm like, all right, well, I can't keep taking this. It's just not working out, and I need that conqueror to actually help. And then luckily, we see this T95, and I'm like, awesome. T95's coming to help. I got lucky there that, you know, hey, I needed to put some damage in him, and he only tracked me. But here's the same sense, right? So, bam. All right, look at that. This guy's going to come here. That's 1 down. Cool. I got the Emil. Great. But, you know, the Object 430U is dead, right? So I'm not going to get it. That was the end of that fight. That was it. So all that damage, all those penetrations didn't even matter. You know, to me, like, hell, I would even be cool if they said, you know what, your 101 is get 3 penetrating hits. 401 is get 5. 301 7. And 401 is, I don't know, 9 or 10. I mean, hell, as long as it's just penetrations, that's great. That is great. I would take that any day of the week, because honestly, whether it's autoloaders, whether it's the fast firing, rapid firing, all of them tend to be flanking. They're going to get penetrations. And when you take out the kill stuff, well then hell, you don't have to worry about, am I getting, like, can I get that final shot? Oh man, can I just hold my fire to get the final shot? I mean, yeah, I mean, you don't, hell, that would work. Now, let's move on to the heavies, right? We don't want to forget about heavies, right? Heavies must be the easiest one, right, guys? Because it's block your health and damage a heavy. That's the 101. 201 is now damage 2 heavy, or actually just damage a heavy twice, right? So this one, you can actually hit the same heavy. Okay, awesome. So at least we got the hit part, right? Just making sure you can penetrate, dude. But you still got to block that health. All right, well, here's the Maoshin, right? Good tank for blocking, right? Well, let's see. Well, I'm against an E5, and he's penetrating me through my lower glacis. I got Carnivoran. Well, yeah, you know, actually, I got lucky there. I ricocheted him. Hey, look at the T49. Look at that. HE. Well, can't block HE, right? Doesn't count. So I only got 280 freaking block here. Now, as a heavy, I got 1,400 damage. Looking pretty good, right? And now, mind you, like, look at what I'm against, right? So I'm against a 183 who's probably going to fire Hesh, so it won't even count as block anyway, but he'll still do quite a bit of damage to me, which is scary. Very, very scary. And you can see I'm doing what I can to not get shot by him, right? So, yeah, sadly, I got to try to not get shot by him. I'm hoping to get shot by the E5, but I got to make sure, hopefully, that E5 somehow, magically, does not penetrate me. Although he's got really good penetration on his rounds. And, yeah, funny enough, because of my Kupla on this tank, hell, everyone kind of knows about that Kupla. Shoot that Kupla, and it's not that hard to pen the tank. Makes it a little difficult to try to pull in blocking my health. Yep, which means to do it, yet again, like I said, certain tanks are really good for it. Certain ones aren't. So, like, for example, the VK, the one that's actually the tier 8 before the Maoshin, is great. Is great. At the tier, it actually holds up quite well. I'm able to block my health quite often. But in the Maoshin, very particular fights, I got to try to stay long range. And because this thing is slow as all get up, it's really difficult to say, hey, I'm going to stay away from targets and be like some backline tank sniper. Like, and not only that, but by the way, the parts that make that difficult is that pisses people off because I'm trying to get my mission. I'm trying to play my tank class right. I need the blocking. Well, I can't really stay close because the close allows them to shoot my Kupla and my lower glacis way too easily, and they're at full penetration. I actually have to sit farther back. That is the way I would play my tank class right to get as much blocking as possible. Now in this one, you'll see, hey, I'm playing it what I consider right. I need to be out there, I need to be brawling, I need to be doing what I can to draw attention. And here it is, like, yep. Okay, so I did block some, right? I got 400 block there. But now bear in mind, that's against tier 10 using heat. He actually has a lot of good opportunities to pen me by using heat because he's got a really high penetration, 340 to be exact, as his average pen, which means he can roll all the way up to like 390 on his penetration. Not beneficial when you're trying to do this stuff, right? You'll see here, the Kupla, right? Haha, I'm not the only one with a weak Kupla, E5. So, and again, here's where we're actually winning, but I only was able to get 920 block, but I did 3,100 damage, and actually I'm going to get more damage. Yet, I did not play my tank right, according to Wargaming, because I need to block my health first. Did I hit heavies? Hell yeah. Did I kill heavies? Hell yeah. Did I get my blocking? No. So, no 401 for me. Cannot get the 401 because, let's see, I have people firing HE. I got people who know to pen through my Kupla or my lower glacis that have really high penetration. So, yeah, how am I supposed to do that? Now, by the way, it's been my experience so far that if I have good enough armor, right, because they have the indicator saying, like, whether it's red, yellow, and green, people tend to not fire if they can't seem to find a good angle. So if I'm playing my tank right and I'm making sure that they don't have good angles, they tend not to fire at me at all. And instead, they'll swap to high explosives now. Because high explosives is so cool, man. you don't have to worry. It does a little damage here and there. And then it knocks out modules and becomes a real pain in the ass. And then that tank becomes pretty garbage. And they got to use all this other stuff so that they, we make sure that they have to run like premium vehicles to bring in more silver because they got to spend more silver because of all the garbage that we have to go through. So yet again, can't even get it. Can't even get a 401 on a heavy. Now, mind you, I've tried heavies like the T10, the Maushan. I've gone through the Defender. I've gone through, what is it, like the E5, right? I've gone through all these different things. But now bear in mind, E5, tier 10. Do I want the 10,000 experience on that? No. No, I'm trying to grind. I'm trying to get the mouse, for example. So I want it on this tank. This tank that has exceptional exposure weaknesses that people know about, right? So I'm supposed to still try to get it on this tank, which means I got to sit there and grind this tank over and over and over, hoping I can get it. Not because of all my performance, but because of everybody's performance. Everybody on my team, everybody on their team, whether or not they know my tank, whether I know their tank, just all this stuff. And it's just garbage. It is garbage. Play your fucking tank wrong. That is what this is, ladies and gentlemen. Everything on this makes it to where people are going to play wrong. And instead, we're going to run into more and more difficulties while this is going until they fix this shit or get rid of it. One of the two. We'll end up having to deal with that because people will keep doing this. So here's a case where I'm trying to play the T10, and like I said, okay, here we are. The match is already 9-14. I'm sorry, 8-14. 8-14. We have lost half our team within the first 4 minutes of the match. Like, actually, less than 4 minutes. First 3 minutes of the match. And now here's where I got to back up. I got to try to do whatever I can to help because I'm looking at it. I'm like, well, hell, they're about to come take over on the other flank. Yeah, I can't even get good shots on a lot of this, so I got to figure something out. So here it is. I'm just trying to go, and I'm like, all right, well, I see the Death Star. Let me cover the Death Star. Hopefully that way he doesn't, have to get damaged so much. And here it is. Okay, well, there's a TVP. Well, yeah, he does a lot of damage. Great, good. Oh, I got to block one. 1 out of 3 or 4 there. Yay. I'm at 810. I only need to block like another 1,000 hit points worth of damage. But I do have 1,200 damage and another about almost 1,200 in damage. And then almost 1,200 in assistance. So here it is. Okay, well, I got to flex, man. I see that mouse and I need to see the standard B. We're just getting overwhelmed here. And then here's a case where, like, I'm trying to help him. But, man, come on. I had a shot. Like, yeah, rough. I'm not trying to shoot this guy. He just kept rocking back and forth, rocking back and forth. And every time I had a shot, and then it's like, all right, let me go ahead and pull. And, no, don't pull. Yeah, pull. No, don't pull. No, pull. Oh! Ended up hitting him. Really sucks. Really sucks. So, for that guy, I am sorry. I was really trying not to shoot you. I do apologize for shooting you. It's just, damn, is it rough. Now, given, if I were him, I'd probably be rocking back and forth too, but this the same thing as, situational awareness. Don't always sit scoped in and stuff, or so focused in. Kind of focus out a little bit, see where your teammates are. That's typically what I do. So, like, if you saw, I was doing that most of that match. So here's tank destroyers, by the way. Tank destroyers, their player class, right, is they have to do their health and damage. Right, and I do believe I covered this in the very beginning. So they have to do their health and damage. That's the first one. Then they have to do their health and damage and survive. Yeah, and survive. Right. Now, why is that a problem? Why is this? And I'm going to key in on that survive part because that's the part that pisses me off the most with it. Right. Then the next one is let's say the 301 and 401. It's actually do double your health, and the 401 is double your health with survive. Right. So, what's the problem here for this one? Because again, you'll notice the whole thing is player tank wrong, right? And this is where I get really agitated because, yeah, you know what? The damage part absolutely makes sense for tank destroyers. Absolutely, I wholeheartedly agree. It should be related to how much damage you're doing, and actually, if you're doing your health and damage and then double your health and damage, that's awesome. That is key. Now, what I will say is same thing. There are certain tanks that are really good at getting double their health, and there are certain tanks that just probably will never get double their health. It's because they have exceptionally high health, and they have enough weaknesses that make it pretty much really difficult to do. Now here, this tank, you'll see, I've already achieved my health. in damage. And you'll see I'm over here, I'm in a match where my team is not doing very well. I'm doing well. My team, though, not so much. Right? So we're already down. We're down over 1,000 health. And I'm still fighting it out. Now, here's why I have a problem with the survive. What do I do if my team is garbage? What happens when everybody on my team is dead and I'm stuck trying to fight them? Well, if I'm on my 201, it doesn't matter if I got my health or not. Because what'll happen is they'll come hunt me and kill me. So I can't survive. Because I lost. Because my team's going to lose. So just on the factor of win and loss, which means if on average, if we said really everything is 50-50 here, guys, that means 50% of the time I will not be able to accomplish the mission, period. Because of that. 50%. Now, that would be on the sense of win or loss and saying that that actually made all the difference. That's not true because, hey, on surviving, we could win. We could have a really, really strong push on one flank like a lemming rush, and I choose to be the one guy that's going to try and make sure that we could win this match, and I'll go hold a flank by myself and eventually die. No matter, I'll pull all this damage and, you know, whatever, assistance, all that stuff, all that good stuff, great. And still will win, but I will die. So I can't get it. So now, up that percentage, guys. It's no longer 50%. It's probably like 70, 75. I don't know what your impressions are, but I can tell you right now, my impressions so far, lately, have been like 70% of the fights are lemming rushes. 70%. Which means, okay, for me to play my tank class right and earn this and try to survive, I have to start doing things a little different than I normally would, like, you know, try to win and help my team. Instead, I'm going to have to make sure that I, one, always go with the lemming rush, fellas. Always. And in the event we're losing, I must go into hiding somewhere remote where no one will think about going, and hopefully use my camo while they, I hope, cap or run out of time. And by the way, some of these matches when they were losing, there's still like 10 minutes on the clock. It means I gotta stay hidden away from everybody, invisible, not found for 10 minutes. I mean, come on, let's be realistic here. So what are my odds of actually pulling it off? Well, slim to fucking none. Maybe 10%. Maybe. And that's saying like I'm doing really well, right? So here's a case. Hell, we're down 7-9. I pulled in 3,300 damage. Now, mind you, hell, if they had a 501 where they said triple your health, I already got it. I already got it. Spoiler alert, if it was a 601 available that said I had to get 4 times my health, I'll get that too. And we'll still lose. And I'll still die. What the crap is that? 4 to 5 times my health in damage and still lost. Still dead. Bear with me 1 second. Dogs don't maybe saw something, you know. It's one of those things, they must have heard something, you know. Batter, you know what? Maybe they're as tired of playing your tank right as I am. All right, so where am I going with this? What do I want? What do I think we should do? You know, as the people, we the people, what should we do? Well, you got to raise the issues, right? Get on the forums. They've got forums to say, hey, what do you think of this stuff? Now, I will say this. I had a lot of trouble trying to find anything for Play Your Tank Right. They don't have, like, they have it for all sorts of different missions and campaigns and stuff like that. They didn't have anything really listed for Play Your Tank Class Right. And to me, it's actually one of the bigger problems because it is causing issues in just your matches. There are so many conditions in parts where people are getting angry and pissed off and shooting their teammates and stuff like that because of people playing their tank wrong because it's play your tank class right. They want that 10,000. Hell, I don't blame them. We should not blame them. They're not at fault. Wargaming, please fix this shit. If you are one of the developers or anyone involved or contributors, anything, if you have any means to communicate to Wargaming, tell them, like, please, we need some adjustments to this stuff. It's not saying get rid of it, honestly. I mean, yeah, I would take get rid of it over leaving it as it is, just because of how much it pisses people off, how much hostility is being driven into the game because of it. But the truth is, guys, 10,000, like the reward system of it, the aspect of it is brilliant. It's great. It's wonderful. It makes people want to play different tanks. It makes people want to earn stuff. It helps with the grind that is already really, really long. One thing I will say that's kind of annoying though is there is no SPG side, and that is actually one of the longest grinds in the game, period. Yeah, I get it. There's not a lot of SPGs, but hell, man, when it takes 290,000 experience on it, that's still a lot, right? So like, and even if it is like instead of 10,000, give them like 4,000, right, for doing certain things, like, you know, certain amount of assistance or suppression assistance and all that stuff. But revise it to where it's more globalized, allowing people to play whatever tank to get it, right? So whatever tank excels at getting it, let them do that, right? And then give it to them in free experience, so that way they can get it to the tanks that are rough, the ones that no one wants to play. Or, oh man, I got this one tank, like let's say, I don't know, a Tiger P, where it starts out with horrible gun, and I'm like, I just wish I had, you know, a way to get through this, right? But I gotta do the grind, guys. I gotta play it and piss off my team. Well, wouldn't it be nice if I just got to play a different heavy, pull it, or actually, hell, because it's free experience, it doesn't even matter. I can play my light. Hey, you know what? I got a lot of really good lights for the missions where all I gotta do is spot. Here we go. I got the spots. Bam. Free experience. 10,000. Let me use that towards the gun. Boom. Now the Tiger P is a little bit better for me, and I have an easier time, or fun time, and that generates more fun in the game. More fun in the game. People will get to spend less time in the shit they hate, spend more time in the stuff they like, or at least get it in the stuff that was bad to start into a condition where it's good, right? And all in the meantime, they feel like they're playing and earning. And if you make it to where they're playing the tanks that actually make sense for it, in general, matches will actually even out. They'll become better, right? More stable. It won't be such jacked shit, right? Now, that said, the other side of it too, honestly, is matchmaking is a problem, right? Hell, if I'm supposed to hit heavies as a heavy and it turns out there's only 2, whoa, that sucks. I'm probably not going to see it, right? And we have all sorts of stuff like that. There's a lot of campaign missions that run into those kind of problems, but that's a different video, guys. That's a different video. So, really, I hope you enjoy this information. I hope a lot of you are on the same page. Please leave comments. Let me know. You know, does it bother you or does it not bother you? Do you think it is really just pointless? Do you even try to do this stuff? Are you not trying because of how annoying it is? Right? Do you not see the same evidence that I'm seeing? Are you not seeing matches where it's like, wow, yeah, no, people are trying to do it and it's ruining the match. It's making things horrible. Please, again, I appreciate any comments. Let me know what you think. Like, subscribe, help support the channel. I'm trying to keep this stuff up, but I could use some support. Thank you so much, and I'll catch you on my next video.